When I was a kid, I would come to Milwaukee with my mom to visit her college roommate and her kids in Whitefish Bay. We would drive across the tall, winding Marquette interchange, and it reminded me of a Hot Wheels track. I would look out the window at the valley and the WE Energy smokestacks, which blew smoke from coal back then, and I would think, this city is ugly. If you walk past the new nursing building site just south of the Haggerty Art Museum, under the I-94 highway, you reach St. Paul Street, the northern boundary of the Menominee River Valley. Head east and you'll find familiar sights like the Amtrak Intermodal Station and Milwaukee's 3rd Ward. But if you head west on St. Paul, you'll find the remaining valley businesses, some old buildings, some new. I spoke with Riverview Antiques about owning a business in this forgotten part of the city.
It would be lovely if there was an apartment buildings or condos or something that'd be built here. And I would say that I would continue wanting old buildings restored.
I agree.
As opposed to buildings being torn down.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some unbelievable buildings torn down in Milwaukee, including right on your campus was one of the prettiest. Anyhow, so I would emphasize that hopefully it will retain its historic look.
Mm-hmm. The valley,
right.
However, if you continue south, across the Menominee River, you'll find the heart of the Menominee Valley. The valley has had a significant place in the history of Milwaukee, having effectively split the city in two for its entire existence. The Menominee Valley gets its name from the Algonquin Menomin, which is their name for wild rice. In 1869, with support from local authorities, several businessmen of Milwaukee initiated the building of a canal, rail yard, and many industrial buildings in the valley. Railroads provided farms with transportation access to Milwaukee's ports. Some of the grain elevators are still present today. The area also became famous, or infamous, for the large tannery industry present during that time. By 1900, the Menominee River had been narrowed in with massive amounts of fill. A canal was built, providing ships with easy access to the industry in the valley. During this time, the valley's natural resources have been destroyed. The marshes once full of wild animals and rice were gone, and a large black sweltering machine stood in its place. The Native Americans of the area were exiled and forced to find homes elsewhere. Now, the valley is covered in graffiti, all the industry abandoned, only small reminders of what was once standing there. Thankfully, new sustainable businesses dot the valley anywhere you go. How was the valley able to turn itself around in such a short amount of time? The narrative of Milwaukee's Menominee Valley is remarkably similar to that of the Kennecott journey we read at the beginning of the year. In Kennecott, copper mines industrialized the beautiful Alaskan town till it could bear nothing more. The economy of the town was booming for a while, with citizens being provided ample work, but eventually, Kennecott Copper Mine had moved elsewhere in search of higher yields. Kennecott was left the way it is, to become dilapidated and abandoned, the soul of its once thriving industry left there to pollute and haunt the ghost town it would become. The valley, however, was able to turn itself around. Catch a game at Miller Park, or take a walk on the Hank Aaron State Trail. Learn something new at the Harley-Davidson Museum. Take a trip to one of many breweries, or visit Four Seasons Skate Park right next door to City Lights.
I mean, when I started coming to the skate park, it was pretty much just a skate park, and now there's like a real nice brewery, an architectural firm now, and the other building down the way, and there's green grass everywhere. and
That
no
wasn't always
trash,
here?
and yeah, just super nice now, from what I remember as a kid. I mean, yeah, it was kind of just mostly a gravel lot, and trash everywhere besides like around the skate park, just because everything else was kind of run down.
How was Milwaukee able to create such drastic change in this area? A majority of it was thanks to a group called Menominee Valley Partners.
Menominee Valley Partners was founded in 1999 as a public-private partnership to restore the Menominee River Valley. A lot of the industry that had historically been in the valley left.
Mm-hmm.
So that left a lot of brownfields, like contaminated land, because the heavy industry was in the valley, and they would just, dump things into the river, or, dump it on the ground, and then it would soak into the ground. So it really was like an eyesore. There's a part of the river called the Burnham Canal, and so they're capping it, and they're restoring it to its native wetland. And one time I was standing on a bridge at the Burnham Canal, and I saw I didn't see it, but someone saw a beaver.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So, little things like that.
When I first came to Marquette, I was instantly drawn to the valley. I visited Four Seasons Skate Park a couple of times and loved watching the trains go right past the skate park. I would look on Google Maps for new places to explore, like Three Bridges Park and the train yard just behind a Potawatomi. Coming from my home on the north side of Chicago, I wasn't used to seeing all the industry here. It inspired me to explore the heart of Milwaukee, the place that Native Americans settled when they first arrived in the area. I could almost feel the presence of the valley's history in the air. There's a lot to be learned from the story of the Menominee Valley. Not only did the city of Milwaukee recognize that the pollution had become a serious problem, but they turned it around. Initiatives were created to help restore the natural beauty of the area. I have a different perspective now, driving across that highway over the valley. Maybe it's because I've grown older, or maybe initiatives like the ones put in place by Menominee Valley Partners have truly made the valley a better place. Deep down, I'm inspired when I drive across those highways. I know that 50 feet below, there's a patch of trees and grass right by the intermodal station that probably wasn't there 15 years ago.